since John Howard was Prime Minister, I would say before that, but at least, like on the record, certified since John Howard was Prime Minister, we've known in this country that Australia would be amongst like the first world countries that was most affected by climate change. I remember talking to Dave Anthony when Trump happened and he was thinking about leaving America, and I was like, well, why don't you come and live in Australia? Like, you got a good following here, like it's a good way of life. You get to do heaps of fun things here. Come and live in Australia. And he was just like, I never would because of climate change. You guys are just going to be the first fucked by climate change. And it pains me to say this, Charlie, but Dave really does get some really horrible things right. I wish he didn't. Like, I wish the things that he was. I don't think he's right about them rigging the NBA. I cannot be convinced about that. But fucking hell.
Well, ABC. Matt Bevan, the ABC journalist. He has a great series of podcasts. He did Russia If You're Listening, and now he's doing Australia If You're Listening, which is all about climate change. And the actual first recorded instance where someone speculated that the country we lived in is more susceptible to changing climates was 1911. Like, he found a news article where a scientist is like, hey guys, we've been running the numbers, and if we keep putting this much, the Industrial Revolution has been fantastic, but if we keep putting this much carbon into the atmosphere, we're going to be fucked. And it's like, I imagine the Andrew Bolt of 1911 would have been, oh, look at this climate alarmist. La-di-da-di-da. The barbarians at the gate trying to take away your way of life. It's like, holy fuck.
Next they'll be telling you can't burn tyres in your backyard. An Australian right.
Well, it was interesting. I sort of went on to... I wanted to see how far this had reached and what the kind of supporters of, the right-wing commentators were saying. And even on the Facebook page for news.com, there's very little support for, the Liberal government on this. And there's very little support of people who are trying to deny this because, like you say, it's affecting, if it doesn't affect you directly, you at least know someone who it's been affected by. I mean, my sister works at the Department of Conservation in WA at the moment. So she and I have been messaging. She's on fire. I'm underwater. It's insane what's going on right now. And I think you just can't, that kind of smoke and mirrors game is not really working anymore. I should say smoke and water game is not really working anymore. Everyone's sort of seeing through it.
Well, what I just because I do think that those extreme climate deniers have been exposed. I think that we've got to a point, even even News Corp have kind of got to the point where the majority of their commentary, they were climate deniers for so long, and they've made a public stance to say that they're now climate delayers, basically. They're not deniers anymore, they're delayers. And that is what they're doing now, right? Like, it used to be we're climate deniers, it's not happening. Now they're at the stage of it's happening, but there's not that much we can do about it, or we've got to do it slowly, or all these.
China and India, if they don't change their emissions, and what's the point of us doing it? Well, we can stop selling to them. That's the point of it.
Also, remember when they were wrong about the last bit that they've now accepted that they were wrong about? Let's you know what? Strike one, and let's assume they're also fucking wrong about what they're telling us now. Why would we trust the people? This is my main problem with net zero by 2050 is that it gives people the impression that we're doing enough, which we're absolutely not doing enough. And the main reason you can know that net zero by 2050 is an absolute fucking con, so that the robber barons can the way that
dig
the
up
analogy
everything
that I would use, right, is that I remember when Limo and I were doing Triple M Drive, right, and they sacked us, but they left us on air for 6 weeks. Well, guess what we did in those 6 weeks? Whatever the fuck we wanted, and stole everything. That is what the fossil fuel companies are doing by us delaying, the shutdown of it. They're just going, well, we'll delay it as far as we can, and then we can just come in and we can steal as much stationery in the meantime as we possibly can. And that that's happening because News Corp think that net zero by 2050 is a good idea. The same people who brought us for the last 30 years, climate change isn't real and isn't happening, and got us into the place we are now saying this is a great plan. And people go, okay, well, I guess that's a good plan. No, that's not a good fucking plan.
Yeah. It's funny too, isn't it? Like that there is this kind of, this idea that, look, we're delivering above and beyond. And it's like, yeah, but that's not good enough. You can say, yeah, we're doing enough, but we're not, obviously. Look what's happening.
Yeah, we're not.
To say, hey mate, I'm giving you 100%. Well, you have to give 150%. I know that is statistically impossible, but it's not working right now, and all this kind of, I mean, I don't really know because there's so much misinformation out there. Someone should do a show about it, Will. It'd be really interesting. I'd watch it. But there's so much misinformation out there when you sort of try and go on, when you go online and you read the commentary on Twitter or whatever, to know like what is actually how people feel. And then there's the polling of it, where because people seem to be largely in favor of all these kind of like more environmentally friendly policies. But does anything get done, or is this? I sometimes wonder: is it just all theatre? Like it's just, we get upset, and then you'll read an article about from the whatever side of politics you're into, and that kind of assuages whatever you're feeling at the moment, and you forget about it until the next kind of disaster. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the fact that it became political is that's dumb to me, right? The
Yeah.
idea that the survival of the planet is a political issue is dumb. And the minute that we allowed it to become a political issue, we fucked up everything. There should be some things as human beings, regardless of the political differences we have, the idea that people have cultural and political differences and they go to war against each other and all these things that happen as human beings. I would have thought that our overall thing has to be the survival of the human race, right?
Nah,
Like
it's fine.
the planet,
It's fine,
the
mate.
livability of the planet, the perfect planet that we live on, that is so unique in the universe. Like, might be the only one in the universe, at least in the time frame that we live in, that can support the sort of life that we are. Isn't our major responsibility as human beings to protect, the survival of humankind and also the survival of the planet that gives us life and gives. I mean, we've been so ruthlessly just eliminating other species from this world. Like the idea that species after species, many of which have been here for thousands, tens of thousands, or even longer years than we've been on this fucking planet, and we just rolled into town and fucking just like, you're dead, never coming back, bye, don't need you, cut you down, fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then the fact that that might lead to the actual. That it shouldn't be a political issue. But the reason it's a political issue is fucking simple. It's like it's money in politics, right?
Yeah,
Like
and it's also
Margaret Thatcher was
the
on
idea.
the record. But Margaret Thatcher, a conservative leader, she was one of the original people like who made, really big headway on the idea that climate change was a real thing and it shouldn't be a party political issue. And then the oil companies came in and they made it, the fossil fuel companies came in and made it a political issue. They knew earlier than everybody else that the climate was changing because they had the money and the incentive to do some research on it. And they discovered it was them who was mostly responsible for it. And then they spent millions of dollars putting out disinformation and misinformation over decades so that they could keep doing it.
It's also feels like, when they trot out like your Pauline Hanson or whatever to do, or your Malcolm Roberts to be like, oh, the climate's always changing. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, at least come up with a better new argument. Like, just, you conspiracy theorists, right? You guys are batshit insane. Just come up with something better. Like, it's so lazy that you're still going to trot out that same old trope, which we know. At least if you're going to bullshit me, put some effort into it. I want to hear a new theory, space laser theory, whatever the fuck it is, why this is normal.
Well, it's absolutely not normal. Like what people sometimes argue is the idea that like we've been a country that's always had extreme weather, right? Which is true.
Yeah.
But the problem with this is that climate change, like global warming, climate change, climate emergency, it's all going to essentially whatever your worst character traits were before. It's like getting superpowers and the superpower like accentuates whatever you were originally, but that becomes like, it's just so
Yeah.
Australia was already a place of dramatic weather conditions. Of course, when things get even more dramatic, we're just going to find that we still have floods, we still have fires, but the fires are bigger than they ever were. The floods were bigger than they ever were.
And it gets closer and closer together. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing that I think some people don't understand is they're like, floods happen, fires happen. It's like, yeah, but what you're going to find is that shit's happening all the time now. Like, even anecdotally, you sort of speak to people in this area and they'll talk about, yeah, it was always like a wet February up here. And it's like, yeah, but now it's wetter for longer and it's more, and when it rains, it's flash flooding. Like you and I were both just in town today and it only rained for about 20 minutes, but in that 20 minutes, like all the gutters filled up, the roads were covered in water, like everything got absolutely hammered. And that was in like a short space of time.
And, you just see gutters on, reasonably new buildings just like overflowing because obviously it's been raining for 3 months and there's only so much in a safety sense, that you can get on your roof to clean your gutters, even in times when you need to do things like that, right? Like, this is it. Every single little thing becomes like, it takes us an hour longer to get to town than it ordinarily would. Now, that's fine and reasonable, and we can deal with that sort of thing. But if you're somebody who has to go that road every day for your job, or you work, or to visit a relative in hospital, or to take your kids to school, or, I mean, where I live, the school bus now can't come through anymore, right? Like, the school bus just can't come through anymore. So there are parents at the moment hiking their kids through like a road that has basically has signs on it that says don't go down this road, but the parents are hiking their kids through these like fallen trees and stuff to be able to get them to a bus stop so they can go to school.
I love, did you see Peter Dutton? Peter Dutton getting grilled by Koshy was not something I thought I'd ever see. But there's this tactic that they're using at the moment, this, human shield thing, where it's like, why weren't the army sent in sooner? I won't let you criticize the brave members of the ADF. No, we're not criticizing them. We're criticizing the people who get them in sooner. Why has there been such a debacle at the nursing homes? Oh, you can't criticize healthcare. We're not criticizing healthcare workers. We're asking why decisions at the top have been so bad or so slow to be put into action. But it's this really, I think once
it's
sort of see the emperor,
but it's a deliberate technique, right?
Oh, of course.
If
Obviously.
you don't support the war, you hate the troops, right? It's been something that's been around for a long time. No, I think in a general sense, the Defence Force are at their most useful defending Australia. The biggest threat that this country should have in a defence sense, like, we should defend the country from being invaded by diplomacy. That's how we should defend Australia. We should defend the country against the weather by having this like armed forces and these people who are trained in these situations on hand to be able to deal with these.
We should be shooting guns up at the sky. That's how we stop this.
Saying,
shoot some missiles at the clouds.
At the cloud occasionally as a warning, and maybe it wouldn't fucking rain around here.
Kill one cloud, educate 1,000. That's what I'm saying. To see the full video, join our Patreon.
Patreon.com/TOFOP.